Hi everyone, we are from Group 5 and my teammates are Abhita Mukka, Mohan Krishna Ayappa and myself Lakshmi Priyanka Vemula. We are going to discuss about network monitoring using Nagios tool. Coming to the introduction of the Nagios XI tool, it's an open and free source tool which is used to monitor system networks and infrastructure, and it runs periodic checks on critical parameters of application network, business process and server applications. Coming to the next slide, which explains about the benefits of the Nagios. Here the first and the foremost benefit is it detects the network and server outages, and it also detects the failed server services and batch process jobs, and it also increases server services process and application availability by monitoring these services. Coming to the next slide, first continuous monitoring. There are multiple reasons for the need of continuous monitoring. Few of them are listed here. First is the failure in monitoring CI or CD pipelines and application issues and infrastructure issues. Why we need to monitor CI or CD pipelines is because most of the organizers uses the DevOps. As the DevOps mostly uses the CI or CD pipelines, we must and should monitor this one. And in order to overcome the application issues and server outage issues, we should monitor the server health checkups timely, uh, timely to give the services to the customer. And coming to the next slide, it describes about what is continuous monitoring. This is an effective system where all an IT infrastructure starts from application, business process and servers and applications are monitored in an automated fashion, and it also resolves any sort of system errors before they have negative impact on the businesses, which are like low memory and unreachable server. Coming to the next slide, it discuss about the NIST definition of continuous monitoring. It includes 6 phases. In this, which we used to define a monitoring strategy and then establish measure and metrics, and then we used to implement the plan we defined, and then we used to analyze data and reporting findings, and then we used to respond and mitigate that error. Finally, we used to report and update the applications and users monitoring. Coming to the next slide, it is the another definition given by Patriot, which includes the continuous assessment, audit, patching, repository, and discovery. Coming to the Nagios design architecture, here coming to the DevOps monitoring tools, there are many monitoring tools are available in the market like PagerDuty, Splunk, Kibana, Liberato. Now we are going to discuss about the Nagios. Coming to the Nagios design architecture, it monitors entire IT infrastructure to ensure systems, applications, services, and business process to function properly, where it consists of an Nagios servers, and it used to periodically run plugins on the server, that is an host, and used to monitor this host and use the monitoring results on the web interface. If there are any deviations, they used to send to the SMS and email. Uh, Next, coming to the features, Abhita will explain about this.
Hi, I'm Abhita. Today I'll be explaining about the features of Nagios tool and installation process. Coming to features, it has good login database, detects network errors and server crashes. Issues also can be fixed automatically. Support for implementing redundant monitoring host. So coming to next slide, how to install Nagios tool. In order to access Nagios tool, we need a virtual machine console. So we need to install Hyper-V Manager. After installing Hyper-V Manager, we need to enable Hyper-V. This can be done by running this application through administrator. Then by the feature turn Windows on or off, we have to select Hyper-V application. Then we need to restart the system in order to make the changes. Open up Hyper-V machine either saved on your desktop or by searching it in your start menu. Head over to action in the top left corner, hover over new and select virtual machine. Now you are given the virtual machine setup wizard. and it recommends us to assign memory. By default, it is set to 512. We can change it to 2048 in order to run the application. Then configure that network. After configuring, we need to configure the virtual hard disk. As we downloaded the VHD file from the Nagios, we need to select the option use an existing virtual hard disk, and then browse this installed Nagios VHD file from your system. Creation of Nagios virtual machine in the Hyper-V is done. Later, now we need to install virtual machine in Hyper-V. Click and then click to run, start to run the virtual machine and connect to boot it up. Then the Nagios XI login prompt will appear with login credentials and IP address. Later, we need to take this IP address and paste it in browser. After successful login, we need to click on the Nagios XI in the browser so that it will redirect to Nagios XI monitoring tool homepage. Now, the working demo of Nagios XI tool will be explained by one of our teammate, Mohan Krishna. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Mohan. Right now I am going to explain about the working demo of the Nagios tool. First, we need to run the Nagios. We need to have a Hyper-V. Already we have been installed in the Hyper-V manager. Let's go for the search engine and start the Hyper-V managers and open the Hyper-V. And after opening the Hyper-V, while we are opening for the first time, we need to create a virtual machine. Right now, I have been created already in a virtual machine, so I need not to be creating it again. So how to create virtual machine? Go for the actions and new and virtual machine. After creating a virtual machine, you will be displayed here what you are going to give a name. It will be visible. And I have been created like a Nagios group 5, and I'm start going to connect with this Nagios. So I was clicking on that here. After that, while starting it, first time it asks the username and password. So the username default it should be the root, and password it should be shows in on the console. And here we have in the Nagios access IP address, and going for I'm clicking the IP address of this Nagios and click on the access Nagios XI. While first time we are opening, it should ask the login credentials. For the login credential, while we are opening an account in Nagios XI, what the mail we are going to give, it gets all the username and password for that. After login to the Nagios XI, here first we have in the total 6 to 7 menu. Let us discuss first about the admin. Go to admin. In the admin, in the system settings, why I am going to first for the system settings and what the admin process is altogether is because the URL what you have been got here in the Nagios, it should be matched with this program URL. If it does not match, we need to update it manually. Sometimes it gives them a dynamic, so we need to update it manually. That is the main reason why I came to the admin and I did system settings. After that, the time zone stamp should be at American and Chicago because we are at here. And next, and coming to the system status, what's the system status? It's the good or bad, the position of our system. Here, some of the components of monitor engine, database maintenance, and what because why I'm going to say this all of thing is if the system is good, our application runs very faster. And here we have in the memory and the CPU status. This everything is working fine right now. And next we are going for the monitor engine status. In the monitor engine status, we are having on the sum of the process, what the active server checks, active host checks, what are the notifications you are getting or not, and what's the scheduling events or whatever maybe it's going to be. What's the monitor engine performance takes higher or lower? It's total or the checking engines. And next go for the email settings. In the email settings, in total, we are having an outbound and inbound. In the outbound and inbound, we need to send a notification to one email. Instead of this, we should type an email, whatever it may be. it will be send an email to them and it gets alert image. In inbound also same. What you can send in the multiple address, reply to the address, email address, at how many times, at what time it's going to be, and username and password, everything. It's and coming to the dashboards. In the dashboards here we are having in the administrative task and getting started, server status. Recently, I have told in the system settings whatever it going to be happen, how the system is was. And here we can configure our IP address from here, or else goes to the configure wizard. After opening the configure wizard, we have in multiple options. The Nagios can be connected for not only for Windows. It can be connected to the Apache Tomcat servers like Docs, Amazon, like multiple we have in here. And here, actual Windows operating system. So in Windows, we are like we have in the Google Cloud and MySQL database, Microsoft Azure. Let us go with in the Windows desktop. While opening and connect to the NCP, first, while we are going to set up a new IP address, it should be given what address we are going to be connected. Suppose I am having this is one of my IP address, this is my personal device. So I am going to connect with that. So go to the auto discovery. In auto discovery, I've been already connected to my personal device, one of that. So I click on the run the wizard. In the first step, what are the jobs going to be done, and how many default servers and how many host IDs we are having, everything. Second one is which IP address being connected to which OS. This was Citrix Access Gateway VPN. The status was new, which the host name was 1+7. Next, after the steps 3 was in the monitoring settings. The monitoring settings nothing but host can be monitored at how many minutes of the time, and what's the detect time, at what for 5 minutes for one time, or like what the way of admin going to be designed, it should be like that. And next, notification settings. The notification settings nothing but some of them they need immediately notification what happens to that. Some of them need like 15 minutes. Some of them, if they detect problem, they need immediately. Right now, many of them are following the what the notification gets immediately, right? I think so. And here, if you need to send an alert for all the contacts, because this was an individual system, so I am selecting the Nagios administrator. The host groups. Here the host groups or service groups. Suppose we are having in one organization. In that work, in one organization, they're having multiple peoples and plenty of them. They need to receive a notification. We can be selected as well, like a group. Which groups need? This was my here coming to the parent host. In the parent host, I'm selecting the 1+7 because the parent was itself 1+7 Pro. So that I am going to be select this and next. And I am going to apply the settings. After applying the settings and go to the dashboard. After going to the dashboards, here we are having we have been connected a device known as 1+7 Pro LAN. It was on the range of our IP address. It was being connected to our IP address. So it was going to be detected. And here, like system grade, what's its the status is good or bad? The 1+7 Pro and ping the service statuses, and what are the HTTPs? What is the memory usage? If it's fine, and it should be in the color of green. The engine or monitor engine process, how it was. The monitor engine inquiry before I previously I told in that. Here, nothing but alerts, latest alert. If you get any alert of our system, it will be displayed here. Right now, we do not have any alerts, so it's not going to display anything. And next, going for the reports. In these reports, whatever type of reports we are looking for the 24 hours. It's giving me 24 hours like that. If you need yesterday's, it's giving like yesterday's. Like which one for 1+7 Pro LAN, it's given for 1+7 Pro LAN. All the services ping host only, or else ping whatever maybe it's reader, it's based on our needs. It's going to be design a report, nice report. And after here, if you are having a, so we are having a download option. In this download option, what type of file you are looking, like CSV or PDF, such type of files, which one you are looking? Like PDF, it's going to display like this. uh, it was one greatest tool whatever have been seen, because the many of the business people needs the in the digital manner, so they looks to the like in the way of what have been represented. Yeah, see what it's how when they are asking like what your need, we need a bb map, we attach it, for hypermap we can, but what on the based on the business needs we can be attached and it can be shown. This was my working demo of my project. Thank you and have a good day.
Thank you. That's all about the topic.